In the history of military aviation, a select few fighter pilots have risen to legendary status by amassing the highest number of confirmed kills. These remarkable individuals have achieved an extraordinary feat by downing hundreds of enemy aircraft in the crucible of aerial combat. So without further delay, let's check out the top 10 fighter pilots in history who had the most confirmed kills in air-to-air combat. At number 10, Theodor Weisenberger. A German military aviator in the Luftwaffe during World War II is recognized as a distinguished fighter ace. His journey to aerial excellence commenced with his first aerial victory over Norway on October 24, 1941. While the majority of his victories were secured in the northern sector of the Eastern Front near the Arctic Ocean, Weisenberger also claimed 33 victories over the Western Front. Impressively, 8 of these victories occurred while he was piloting the Messerschmitt Me-262 jet fighter. In total, he was credited with an astounding 208 enemy aircraft shot down during 375 combat missions. At number 9, Hermann Graf. A distinguished fighter ace in the German Luftwaffe during World War II, began his remarkable career by securing his inaugural aerial victory on 4th August 1941, shortly after the commencement of Operation Barbarossa, the invasion of the Soviet Union. Notably, Graf achieved a historic milestone in aviation history by becoming the first ever pilot to claim 200 aerial victories, representing 200 successful aerial combat encounters resulting in enemy aircraft destruction. Over approximately 830 combat missions, the vast majority of which took place in Eastern Front, he tallied an extraordinary total of 212 aerial victories. At number 8, Oskar Heinrich Pritelbach. A German Luftwaffe flying ace, served a significant role during World War II in various theaters across Europe. Throughout the war, Barr completed over 1,000 combat missions, demonstrating his remarkable combat prowess in the Western, Eastern, and Mediterranean theaters. Impressively, he managed to survive being shot down on 18 separate occasions. Sources attribute him with an impressive tally of 220 aerial victories, comprising 96 in the Eastern Theater and 124 in the Western Theater, although it's plausible that his total could extend to 222 victories. Notably, 16 of his kills occurred while piloting the Messerschmitt Me-262 jet fighter, with the remainder achieved in the Focke-Wulf 109. Number 7. Erich Rudolfer. He was a German Luftwaffe fighter ace who was one of a handful who served in the Luftwaffe during the whole of World War II. Rudolfer's contributions spanned across all major German theaters of the war, encompassing the European and Mediterranean theater of operations, as well as the Eastern Front. Over the course of the conflict, he participated in over 1,000 combat missions and engaged in aerial combat on more than 300 times. Rudolfer encountered enemy fire, both from flak and enemy fighters, resulting in 16 instances of being shot down and having to employ his parachute on 9 occasions. His remarkable combat record includes being credited with 222 victories. At number 6, Wilhelm Batz. A German Luftwaffe fighter ace in World War II recorded his first aerial victory on March 11, 1943. A substantial portion of his impressive tally of 237 victories occurred on the Eastern Front, with 46 of those victories being against Ilyushin Il-2 ground attack aircraft. Notably, Batz also claimed 3 victories, including one 4-engine bomber from the United States Army Air Forces during an engagement over the Ploiești oil fields. Throughout the war, Batz participated in 445 combat missions, and his exceptional combat skills resulted in the downing of 237 enemy aircraft. At number 5, Walter Nowotny, an Austrian-born fighter ace in the Luftwaffe during World War II. A significant portion of the total victories, precisely 255, were achieved on the Eastern Front, while he secured 3 victories while flying one of the pioneering jet fighters, the Messerschmitt Me-262, during the defense of the Reich. Nowotny's primary success, however, came while flying the Focke-Wulf FW-190, accounting for the majority of his kills. with an additional 50 credited to the Messerschmitt Bf 109. Notably, Nowotny was known for achieving ace-in-a-day status on multiple occasions, signifying that he shot down at least 5 enemy aircraft in a single day. He even accomplished double aced-in-a-day feats twice, signifying a minimum of 10 kills in a day, both occurring in mid-1943. In total, Nowotny achieved his impressive tally of 258 aerial victories in 442 combat missions. At number 4, Otto Kittel, a German fighter pilot during World War II who took part in an astounding 583 combat missions on the Eastern Front, where he secured an impressive 267 aerial victories. According to aviation historians John Wheel and Jerry Scott, this remarkable achievement places him as the 4th highest scoring ace in the history of aviation. It is noteworthy that all of Kittel's victories were claimed against the Red Air Force. Tragically, his combat career met an unfortunate end where he was shot down by Soviet aircraft and lost his life in February 1945. Notably, Otto Kittel holds the distinction of being the most successful German fighter pilot to have met such a fate in the line of duty. Up next is Gunther Roll. A highly decorated German military aviator and general, enjoyed a remarkable military career that spanned almost 4 decades. He ranks as the 3rd most successful fighter pilot in the history of aviation. Roll's impressive aircraft in the course of 621 combat missions. Throughout his career, he faced the harrowing experience of being shot down 5 times and suffering wounds on 3 separate occasions. It is notable that all of Roll's victories were achieved while piloting a Messerschmitt Bf 109, although he also flew the Focke-Wulf FW-190 in operational roles. Nearly all of his claims were made against Soviet adversaries. Next is Gerhard Gerd Bacher, a distinguished military aviator achieving the status of a renowned wing commander in the Luftwaffe during World War II. His reputation as a fighter ace is underscored by the fact that he ranks as the 2nd most successful fighter in history. Bacher's achievements are exceptional. He stands as one of only 2 fighter pilots to ever surpass 300 claimed victories. Over the course of 1,104 combat sorties, he demonstrated remarkable prowess, securing 301 victories on the Eastern Front while flying the Messerschmitt Bf 109. At number 1, Erich Alfred Hartmann. A German fighter pilot during World War II holds the distinction of being the most successful fighter ace in the history of aerial warfare. His remarkable combat career encompassed 1,404 combat missions and 825 separate instances of aerial combat engagement. Hartmann's exceptional achievements earned him the prestigious Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross with oak leaves, swords, and diamonds awarded to him on August 25, 1944, in recognition of his 301 aerial victories. In total, Hartmann is credited with downing a remarkable 352 Allied aircraft while serving with the Luftwaffe, with 345 of these victories attributed to Soviet planes and 7 to American aircraft. His last aerial victory, the 352nd, was achieved on May 8, 1945, just hours before German surrender. No American, British, Japanese, Soviet, or any other pilots than German pilots achieved 100 confirmed air-to-air combat victories during World War II. Notable mentions that we would include here are Richard Dick Arabong, the top American ace with 40 confirmed kills; Ivan Nikitovich Kozydub, the leading Soviet ace with 60 confirmed kills; Pat Paddle, the top British ace with nearly 60 confirmed kills; Aino Ilmari Ilu Juutilainen, who claimed 94 confirmed aerial combat victories for Finland; and Tetsuzo Iwamoto, credited with at least 80 aerial victories for Japan. And with this, we've come to the end of today's video. Stay tuned for more videos from The Buzz.